You know, 2008, 2009 was really a heck of a time for vampires. I mean, we got Twilight, Vampire Diaries, Being Human, True Blood. I don't know what it was, but someone in Hollywood really had a thing for like weird emo loner guys, and I guess they just approved every pitch they got, cause like this all went on for quite a while. Anyway, so this week I thought I'd take a look at one of these shows, True Blood. Cause let me tell you, after finishing the entire Twilight saga, surely it could only be uphill from here. Let's take a walk. But before that, really quick, this video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. So here's the thing, Raid Shadow Legends is actually one of the most popular mobile collection RPGs around right now. It has almost 10 million players after launching just a few months ago. Now the main thing about this game is of course the graphics. I mean, if you take a look, this game looks like not a mobile game, you know what I'm saying? You know, you ever see a game on the App Store or whatever and then it looks like it might be pretty cool, but then you download it and it's just like, well, not this time. Now, instead of having you just fight a bunch of random things for like no reason, the game actually has a full like real fantasy story campaign for you to play through. So if you were disappointed by Game of Thrones, well, now you can be slightly less disappointed with this game. There's over 400 different champions for you to collect, and there's all kinds of champions for all kinds of tastes. My personal favorite right now is Cythalia, because I mean, like, how do you even go to the bathroom in that thing, you know what I'm saying? Is she wearing a diaper under there? And I mean, let's be honest here, any woman out there fighting dragons in a diaper is someone I want to be friends with. They also recently published a roadmap for content updates over the next 6 months. There's gonna be a new faction, a tag team arena, new clan boss, just all kinds of new stuff coming to this game, so you're probably not gonna get bored for quite a while. And of course, the game is totally free to download and play, so use my link in the description, download the game, and get 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player program to start playing. So if you're interested, go check out Raid Shadow Legends. Okay, back to the show. So this is our main character, Suki. Yes, that's really her name. Just your average 20-something waitress in deep south small town America, just living her life, doing whatever people do there. Except, Suki has a little secret.
Just let me have just one beer tonight, Jesus. One beer, that's all I need. And if you just give me the strength to say no to beer number 2, then I swear.
That's right, everybody. You probably thought this was just gonna be another one of those TV shows where the main girl's all like,
I'm approachably attractive and I don't have any hobbies, but all these hot guys with endless amounts of free time just keep falling in love with me. Oh, what to do?
well, guess what? Turns out that that's, yeah, more or less the entire show. But also, for some mysterious reason, Suki over here can read people's minds. But you know, being able to hear people's thoughts is always one of those things that seems cool in theory, but like, can you imagine actually knowing what people are thinking about? Like, really?
Oh, sir, don't you dare gripe about me eating fries, not after what I did for you last night, which, by the way, was disgusting.
I mean, social media is bad enough already, but imagine like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube comments, but just like all the time, everywhere. Why do my farts smell like cheese?
A girl superhero? Are you kidding me?
The olives look like belly buttons. You know, I don't think I could date a centaur, because I mean, like, what does a good horse butt even look like? So while she's trying not to hear all of this, later that night, a certain someone walks in and catches Suki's eye. Okay, I mean, why is every vampire guy Edward? I mean, yes, I know this show actually came out a month before the first Twilight movie, but like I said earlier, at some point in 2008, everyone just decided that greasy, messed up hair and a face like you just had a stroke or something is every girl's fantasy dream date, which is really disappointing for me, okay? Because like I was way ahead of the curve on this one. If only I'd been born like 3 or 4 years later, I mean, let me tell you, high school would have been very different for me. But anyway, so this is where we start to learn a little bit about this show. So True Blood takes place in a world where vampires have come out of hiding and are trying to fit into society, kind of like X-Men or every minority group ever. And as you could probably imagine, relations are not the best between humans and vampires because, you know, one group is unpredictable and dangerous and likes to prey on the weak and innocent, and the other group has fangs. So, you know, it's just winter shins all around.
I mean, come on, doesn't your race have a rather sordid history of exploiting and feeding off innocent people?
Doesn't your race have a history of exploitation? We never owned slaves, Bill, or detonated nuclear weapons.
Anyway, now Suki has seen her first vampire, and that's when she figures out that she's maybe sorta kinda into guys who look like they've written at least 5 articles on WikiFeed. So she goes back to his table, but now he's suddenly being hounded by this other couple in the diner who really want him to know that they like totally get him, you know?
I mean, people have always discriminated against me.
Oh boy, have they ever.
And just because I never felt like being what society wanted me to be, you know?
Me neither.
While this is going on, Sookie uses her magic powers and overhears these two thinking about how much money they could make if they drained all the vampire guy's blood and sold it.
Can I get y'all anything else?
Not that big, but he's still probably got 11 or 12 pints in him. That's almost 200 ounces. I bet we could get 500 ounces in Dallas. That's $10,000.
Which oddly enough is only like the third biggest reason why I never go to these hole-in-the-wall diners. Because I mean, like, you walk in the door first thing and oh boy, isn't that just wonderful. And then the waitress sits you down next to a family whose family tree is really more like a tumbleweed. You know, I'm just saying, like, getting my blood drained is the least of my worries here. Anyway, so Sookie tries to get her friends to help her help the vampire guy, but they can't really be bothered to do anything because allegory. And when she goes back to the table, everyone's gone. Now, long story short, Sookie goes after them and finds the couple draining the vampire's blood in the back of a parking lot. So of course she steps in, fights them off, gives us some cool southern insults like this.
You don't want to be on my bad side. I'm not so sure you even have another side, you no-count backwoods trash.
And rescues the vampire guy, so everything's great. But then we get to the first, like, big twist or whatever of the show.
Thank you.
I can't hear you.
Thank you.
No, I can hear you, but I can't.
Huh. Well, golly gee, doesn't this all just sound familiar? You know, after watching as many of these shows as I have, we really just had the same story told to us over and over again, didn't we? I mean, 10 years ago it was vampires, and now it's like Noah Centineo rom-coms. I mean, Hollywood sure loves to not come up with new ideas, you know what I mean? Anyway, so the scene continues.
What are you?
Well, right now I'm someone who wishes you'd maybe chewed some gum or something before you got that close to my face, okay? So here, I'll just put that in there for you.
I'm Sookie Stackhouse.
Belle.
I thought it might be Antoine or Basil or like Langford maybe, but Bill?
Okay, hold on a second. I don't think you're really in a position to make fun of anyone's name, Sookie Stackhouse. I mean, come on, your parents were in the hospital filling out your birth certificate like it's a Mad Lib, all right? So just keep your opinions to yourself, huh? Anyway, so after this, Sookie goes home and hangs out with her grandma for a little bit and then goes to sleep. Now, in the middle of the night, you'll never guess what happens. But like, go ahead and guess, because you're probably right. That's right, Sookie, you just won yourself a brand new creepy stalker! And of course, Sookie's just like, this seems fine, nothing weird going on here, and goes out to say hello. But you see, this is what I was talking about, okay? I was just a couple years too early to be considered mysterious and charming, you know, because I tried the same thing back when I was in high school, and all I ever got was the girl's dad just being like, anyway, so this goes on. Oh, is it, oh? So yeah, it turns out it was all just a dream, and Sookie maybe needs to work through some things, you know what I'm saying? Now the next day, wouldn't you be shocked to learn that Bill the vampire's back, and suddenly Sookie's getting all like, duh. And they have yet another wonderfully awkward conversation with lots of staring and heavy breathing for some reason.
Your hand is cool.
Suck it.
What? Sookie. I'm sorry, back to the show.
May I call on you sometime?
Call on me?
May I come and visit with you at your home?
Sure.
And then Sookie and Bill have this whole romantic thing where she gets attacked and Bill saves her, and then there's like another vampire guy who shows up later, and Sookie falls in love with him too, and then there's fairies and werewolves, and this all goes on for 7 seasons. Watching True Blood for the first time now, it seems really cliche and like color by numbers or whatever, but at the time, I guess it was one of the first shows about just being a typically average girl, you know, falling in love with a creepy dude who never takes showers. But to be fair, it was pretty unique with the whole idea of like vampires integrating into society and all the metaphors and allegories that go along with that. It takes the same story that we would get afterwards, but it does give it a slightly different point of view, I guess. And of course, as the show goes on, it just gets completely off the rails. But I feel like every supernatural romance show kind of ends up that way. So, you know, what you gonna do? like, when you think of vampire teen romance, vampire romance story, whatever, you think of like Twilight as like the main one that everyone knows, and then maybe Vampire Diaries kind of shows up. But turns out there's a lot of shows about girls falling in love with vampires, It's like that was like a huge thing for like so many years. Like I said in the video, 2008, it kind of got started. Well, 2005, the Twilight books came out, then 2008, the movie, and then True Blood, and then a year after that, Vampire Diaries. And it was just like this whole thing for so long, And now thinking back, it's like, boy, that was a weird time. Of all the things for girls to fall in love with, the creepiest guy they could possibly think of. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, ring that bell so you don't miss any videos from me. Follow me on Twitter. Let me know what's your favorite part of the video, or just say hi, or tell me what you want me to do next. And now, next week, of course, is Tall Girl. I've been getting about 1,000 requests for that every single day. So yes, it's coming next week. Follow my dog Charlie on Instagram, Charlie Meets Pumpkin. And above all else, everybody have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.